Good morning, everyone. We are Team 4 and we are going to present on commercial brain computer interfaces. The problem statement that we are going to define is being explained by Bibek.
So first of all, I'm going to talk about the problems of brain-computer interfaces. Uh, so, so there's a lot of threats and vulnerabilities in brain-computer interfaces. The first one is passive eavesdropping, in which the information is captured passively and recorded to a PCAP file. Uh, the data included advertising data, MAC address of the emotive inside, and the smartphone, the encryption key, the data exchange between the two devices and connection request. The second one is denial of service, in which the data is used to cause a radio frequency jamming by broadcasting dummy data and prevented the emotive inside to connect to the smartphone. The third one is replay attack, in which the data is actively intercepted, could replayed back to emotive inside and could also be looped to perform the same action repeatedly. So like the the brain computer interfaces can affect the data privacy and security of data during its transmission over network. The information transmitted by the brainwave could be captured passively. The authentication information involved in the pairing of brainwave and the smartphone application could be determined to extract the private information. This private information can lead to the identity theft. The data transmitted between the brainware and the smartphone application can be obtained using a malicious software. Implementing risk management by using security guidelines in brain-computer interfaces technology. Uh, so BCI applications are at risk as there are no set standards or guarantees for security and privacy for informations being sent and received directly from the third slides. I'm going to talk about what is brain-computer interface. Uh, Brain-computer interface is an intelligence system that recognizes a certain set of patterns in the electric impulses that a brain generates and convert them into useful informations to perform complex tasks. It is also known as neural control interface, mind-machine interface, direct neural interface, brain-machine interface. Uh, the interfaces enables a direct communications pathway between the brain and the object to be controlled. In the case of causal control, for example, the signal is transmitted directly from the brain to the mechanism, directing the cursors rather than taking the normal route, though the body neuromuscular system from the brain to the finger on a mouse. So BCI works with the brains, which are filled with cells called neurons. So every time we think, move, feel, or remember something, our neurons are at work. That work is carried out by biochemical and electric signals. Scientists can detect those signals and interpret what they mean by using EEG technology. EEG can read signals from the human brain and send them to amplifiers. The amplified signals are then interpreted by a BCI computer program which uses the signal to control a device. So BCI works with the brains which are filled with cells called. So as shown in the pictures, the electrode is implanted in the skull in the left brain, and the electrodes measures a minute difference in the voltage between the neurons. The signal is then amplified and filtered. It is then interpreted by a computer program. Although you might be familiar with older analog encephalographs, which display the signals, pens that automatically wrote out the patterns on the continuous sheets of paper. And third one is which displays the interpreted thought activities. In the sixth slide, I'm going to talk about the history of computer-brain interface. So in 1924, the Hans Berger, a German neuroscientist, discovered the electrical activity of the human brain with EEG. Hans Berger conducted the first experiment of EEG on humans. So yeah, in 1970, research on BCI started at the University of California, which led to emergence of the expression brain-computer interface. The focus of BCI research and development continues to be primarily on neuroprosthetics applications that help restore damaged sight, hearing, and movements. Hansberg innovation in the field of human brain research and its electrical activity has a close connection with the discovery of computer-brain interfaces. Uh, Berger is credited with the development of EEG, which was a major breakthrough for humans and helps researchers record human activity. Uh, this was the major discovery in 1998. The significant development in the field of brain mapping when researchers Philip Kennedy implanted the first brain-computer interface object into a human being. However, However, the BCI object was of limited functions. The only benefit from this development was the use of wireless de-electrode. In 2001, John and his team of Brown University researchers formed a public trade company, CyberKinetics. The goal was to commercially design a brain-computer interface, the so-called BrainGate. The company has come with the Neuropod, its first commercial product. Columbia University Medical Center researchers have successfully monitored and recorded electrical activity in the brain with improved precision. According to the researchers, Neuropod neural monitoring systems enable them to identify micro-seizures activity prior to epileptic seizures among patients. Seizures among patients. In 2004, Jonathan Wolpaw and researchers at New York State Department of Health Wadsworth Center came up with a research report that demonstrates the ability to control a computer using a BCI. In the study, patients were asked to wear a cap that contained electrodes to capture EEG signals from the motor cortex, part of cerebrum governing movements. The next slides gonna be speak by my teammates.